Hello, this is Carrie Margaret from Love Notes, sharing with you my journey, and hopefully it's helpful and helps you be more of yourself and just enjoy the whole process and have lots more juicy and fun and sexy relationships. So I just jumped off of a feminine power call. I have a feminine power coach that I work with for quite a bit. So good to dive into. In our culture in the United States, it's so masculine. Feels so good to dive into the feminine. So this amazing thing came out on the call, and I went for a walk after, and I was like, I'm going to jump on and just film about it. So what I think the message is it's like, how can we enjoying it and making it playful as we're allowing ourselves to be all of ourselves, on our own and in relationship. We're talking about this whole thing of the spectrum of these qualities of going from that there are two sides of a spectrum, the queen and the joker, and the lover and the warrior. And it's like you can be anywhere on the spectrum, and I just love this idea that came through afterwards of being the queen in your life, but being the playful queen at the same time, bringing in the laughter and the fun and the joking, and just not taking ourselves so seriously. Coming in and showing up powerfully and deciding what we want, but not taking ourselves so seriously at the same time, and just having fun with it, with all of it. And the lover and the warrior, sometimes we have to show up kind of fierce, and sometimes it's good just in that fierceness to soften the edges. And for me, it's always been showing up the total lover, just the lover of everybody, just love. And how to bring in that warrior, a little bit more of that fierceness, and just really having fun in it all, because all of it, so many things, have these seeming dualities. In the relationship space, the totally safe, secure, dependable relationship that oh shoot, it does not feel so as sexy as some of the uncertainty and the inconsistency, or that intermittent reinforcement that we get from other relationships. And in being in the safety, how to bring a little bit more of the spicy, how to bring the spicy back, those people don't get bored. One of the things that I love and playing that with that and eroticism is okay, so you've got this really stable, safe thing going on. What if you just drop your panties and go without panties for a day, just see how that feels, and then tell your partner or your lover about it. There's just little ways to bring a little bit more spice. You can take take the good and add a little bit more of the spice or the bad, or being the good girl and the bad girl at the same time. Beautiful place to play with this is in eroticism. Because when we're in a space where we feel safe in eroticism, right, then we can actually express the whole range of it. And it's interesting, I had a conversation earlier this week. I'm keeping these videos a little bit shorter, but I'll just jump into this because it's so related. Somebody else in the relationship space with a really deep understanding of a lot of dynamics that are going on between people. I may interview him, bring him on as an interview at some point. It'd be really good. And he said this thing to me, if people actually allow themselves to be and share the fullness of what they were desiring, there would probably be a lot more stable relationships. It wouldn't necessarily, we're talking about all different range of relationships, from committed to polyamorous, all different types of sexuality, heterosexuality to pansexuality. And it wouldn't necessarily be that everybody in the world would become polyamorous. It might just be that they're a lot more happy, safe, fulfilled, monogamous relationships. If people were really honest about what they're needing, what they're craving, what their biggest fantasies are, because all of life is a negotiation. It's a negotiation, and there's a negotiation in communication between people, and there's negotiation in experiencing different types of duality and polarity. And if we just let ourselves enjoy it instead of judging it so much, maybe we can have a little bit more fun with it. Even if we're in the inner child, in the sadness, in the hurt, we can be in the inner child and then be like on the other side in our sage selves and our higher selves at the same time, both at the same time. One more piece here, like even in the pain. I think it's Carolyn Elliott who wrote the book Existential Kink, and talks about allowing ourselves just to like enjoy our places of pain, like the sadness. That's been a big one for me. Sadness, depression, like letting myself enjoy the fact when I go into these spaces and letting myself have, I don't want to say the perverted enjoyment, but a little bit of like the enjoyment of like my unconscious, my body needing it, the unwinding, all of the stuff that is happening, like letting myself enjoy it. It seems like such a seeming paradox. And we're full of all of these seeming paradoxes, right? All the time. So if you like take one thing from one side of the spectrum and then add it to the other, it's just a lot more possibility for us to be our real, like just fully expressed selves, and to enjoy the journey more. So hope you enjoyed the video. There's lots kind of evolving stuff going on, me and coaching programs, different things that I'm doing, and as everything evolves here, I love to come and share. I love the idea of community. I love the idea of each person's individual growth, helping other people and just giving back in any way that I can. If you're interested in more from me, please subscribe, and I might put a chunk of that little bit of this on Instagram too. I'm starting to like play a little bit with an Instagram account that I have like never touched. But yeah, follow me, and if you're feeling called, and it's the first time, welcome to my world, and wishing you so much goodness, so much yumminess. Let's just open up the yumminess in all of this. So much compassion for any pain you might be feeling, and so much hope and inspiration for your dreams. And wishing you lots of love and all the goodness.